Good morning, friends. Grab your coffee. Today we're talking about two things that nobody really wants to talk about in retirement: taxes and Medicare. Now let me be upfront here. I'm not a tax expert. I'm not a financial advisor. Heck, I don't even do the day-to-day money management here. Aww. Vanessa is our financial planner and guru, and she understands this stuff way better than I do, but I've done some studying on it, and I thought maybe I could put this stuff in plain English, keep it simple because I'm simple, and if I can put it on my level, maybe it'll help somebody else. Now, I know it's not the most exciting morning topic, but it's important to understand, I think. These are two things that surprise more retirees than almost anything else. And when you understand how they work, they're not nearly as scary. So let's just sit down and talk through it, nice and simple. One of the biggest myths about retirement is this idea that when you stop working, you stop paying taxes. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But that's not how it works. You may stop paying payroll taxes, but you can still pay income taxes on traditional IRA withdrawals, 401k withdrawals, pension income, rental income, investment income, and sometimes even Social Security. And this catches people off guard because mentally we think, I'm retired, my income dropped, my taxes should be tiny. Well, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And the reason is how retirement income is structured. If you contributed to a traditional 401k or IRA for years, you got a tax break at the time. But now, when you take that money out, it counts as taxable income. That money has never been taxed before. Now, compare that to a Roth IRA. You paid taxes up front on that. So when you withdraw later, qualified withdrawals are tax-free. That difference becomes very real in retirement. And this is where planning matters. Not to avoid taxes completely, but to manage them. Here's one that really shocks people. Depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security can be taxable. Now that doesn't mean it's taxed at 85%, it just means that up to 85% of it can be included as taxable income. And what determines that? Something called provisional income, which basically means half of your Social Security plus your other income. So if you're pulling money from a traditional IRA, that could increase how much of your Social Security becomes taxable. A lot of retirees don't see that coming. Now let's talk about something that doesn't feel optional. It's called required minimum distributions. At a certain age, the IRS says, you've deferred taxes long enough, it's time. And they require you to start taking money out of traditional retirement accounts, whether you need the money or not. And those withdrawals, taxable. If you've built up a healthy retirement account, those required minimum distributions can be larger than expected. And here's where it gets interesting. They can also affect Medicare. A lot of people think Medicare just kicks in at 65 and covers everything. It does help a lot, but it's not free. Most people don't pay a premium for Part A. That's hospital coverage. But Part B, doctor visits and outpatient care, has a monthly premium. And that premium is based on your income. That's where things connect. Now, the thing that nobody talks about, there's something called IRMAA, IRMAA. It's basically a surcharge on your Medicare premiums if your income goes above certain levels. And here's the kicker. It's based on your tax return from 2 years ago. So say you sell a property, do a large Roth conversion, take a big IRA withdrawal, or have a high income year, your Medicare premiums could increase 2 years later. And many retirees are completely surprised when that notice arrives. It feels random, but it's tied directly to income. Everything is connected. This is what most people don't realize. Your retirement income affects your tax bracket, how much Social Security is taxable, your Medicare premiums, even your long-term tax picture. It's kind of like a puzzle. You pull one piece and something else shifts. This is why retirement isn't just about having money saved. It's about managing income wisely year by year. So what can you do now? Well, I'm not giving tax advice here. I'm not a tax professional or a financial advisor. But here are a few things people often consider. Spreading withdrawals over multiple years instead of taking big lump sums. Being thoughtful about Roth conversions. Watching your income thresholds. And coordinating Social Security timing. Working with someone who understands both taxes and Medicare, not just an investment person. Someone who understands the full picture. Now, I don't share this stuff to scare anyone. Taxes in retirement are normal. Medicare premiums are normal. The goal isn't to avoid them completely. It's just to avoid surprises, because surprises are what create stress. And retirement is supposed to reduce stress, not add to it. The retirees who feel the most relaxed aren't always the wealthiest. They're the ones who understand how things work. Clarity creates confidence. If you're nearing retirement and feeling overwhelmed, take a breath. You don't have to figure everything out at once. Start by understanding where your income will come from. Then look at how it's taxed. Then look at how it affects Medicare. One layer at a time, This stage of life can be incredibly freeing, and knowledge helps protect that freedom. So let me ask you something this morning. What confuses you more in retirement? Taxes or Medicare? Drop it in the comments. Maybe we'll turn your question into our next coffee talk. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe, and join us for more mornings where we talk about real retirement, the fun parts, the financial parts, and everything in between. All right, I'm going to finish my coffee, and I'll see you down the road.